Welcome to another episode of the A-List Movie Club. I am your host, the game changer, Wes Truth. And with me, as always, are Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
Good.
And of course, this is the show where each week a different one of us picks a movie for the others to check out. And this time it was John's turn. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you picked?
What the hell was that? All right. You guys see that, or is that just on my screen?
I didn't
Was
see
it
that.
Paranormal Activity?
Yeah, all these pop-ups came up. I was like, what is that? All right.
Oh, hopefully not a virus.
Yeah, geez. So my pick was a movie that I had never seen. I heard good things about. I wanted to see it. I picked The Front Runner with Hugh Jackman. I know it's hard to see. This cover is terrible, but
So the synopsis is, in 1987, U.S. Senator Gary Hart's presidential campaign is derailed when he's caught in a scandalous love affair.
ooh.
Ooh, scary.
Say Don might remember this better than all of us. I was 11.
I remember when this happened. I remember the whole
I was one.
thing. Well acted, kind of historical, I would say. It bored me. I thought it's moved real slow. I didn't think it was a very exciting story. Didn't think it was a very exciting story back then, even though he would have been president. He really would have been president. He would have won the election. What can I say? He screwed around, he got caught, That's the way it goes. So yeah, it was well acted, well written. I mean, I don't know if I was in the right mood for it that night or something like that. Because when it started, I was really surprised that I didn't know what it was about. And then I hear Senator Gary Hart and this, that, and I'm like, holy shit, this is what this movie's about? And right then it just kind of brought my mood down a little bit. But that's
I wanted a fake story, damn it.
yeah.
I wanted something more like Tenet. I don't have a clue what it's
Oh,
about.
God.
Interrupt you, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, in 87 and 88, I was 10 and 11, so I wasn't really following politics, so I didn't really know a whole lot about this story. Yeah, you kind of have to be in the mood. Like, I like these movies if I'm in the right frame of mind. Like, I like Richard Jewell. I like some of those based on a true story, slow dramas. This one sort of, like, it starts out like, did you guys, there's no credits in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just gets right into it. And there's so many parts and players and people that, like, they're all sitting on this table talking about it. I'm like, who are these people? There's like no intro. It's like, wait.
Yeah, they're just the problem is they just throw out names that I think this movie was marketed for people of a certain age, because I could see it where it would be very confusing if you didn't know any of these names or who they were and what they did.
Well, yeah, like it just goes right into that, like Alfred Molina talking, and yeah, you're like, wait, are they on the campaign? Is this a newspaper? Yeah.
Even on Gary Hart's team,
yeah,
like, I know who J.K. Simmons is. I don't know who the character is supposed to be.
Exactly, yeah.
And then the whole group is like working for him. We're just supposed to know who these people are, what their jobs are.
It really could have used what they do in other like bio movies that have like a title screen come up and be like, J.K. Simmons character, this is his job. Like, that might have really helped out, actually.
Yeah. If you aren't familiar with politics and how it works, as far as, like, this guy's in charge of the press and this guy's in charge of this, you don't know. You just see people like, how many people does he need working for him? And what all do they do? So a lot like
Right.
that I didn't get. I didn't like that it jumped in. I thought I missed something in the beginning of the movie. Like I hit rewind. I'm like, oh shit, did I fall asleep, miss the first couple minutes? Rewind.
You
Oh,
came
no,
in
this
a
is
half an
good.
hour late or something.
I'm like, it just seems like they're mid conversation. We just like got in there. We're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Hugh Jackman was very good. Alfred Molina, J.K. Simmons. I liked all the acting was good. What's her name? Vera Farmiga
Vera-
wasn't in it
yeah,
nearly enough.
yeah.
Yeah,
I like her. She could have been in a little bit more.
I agree.
Yeah, it could have used a little more. Like you don't really know much about his wife and kids. There's not a lot of personal info. And they don't really sort of do a deep dive into this alleged affair. They're just like, oh, we saw her come out of your house. That's like all they do. And then it doesn't go any deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, surprisingly, this I stayed awake for. Other movies, it takes me 4 attempts. I fall asleep. This one I stayed awake for. I don't know.
Whatever works.
Yeah. I liked it. I mean, if I didn't have a background in it, so this is sort of like my source. This is how I found out
Mhm.
about this. Yeah, I liked it. Wes?
Yeah, I'm kind of like you guys, I guess. A little bit of both. Somewhere in the middle, I guess. It was like Jason Reitman did this movie. So he did Juno is his big Juno and Up in the Air are his two like most known movies he's done.
I like both.
So a way different feel to this movie than those. A young adult with Charlize Theron as well, which that one I didn't really care for, but whatever. Yeah, I like you guys, or like John. I was not familiar with this at all. This scandal. So it was interesting to see what was going on, that it was a true story. I kind of thought this was like a political thriller in a way. When I remember when this came out, it just was under my radar because usually I review everything that comes out since 2011. And I was like, oh no, I have not seen this one. There's always those few that fly under the radar. And I think that was why I feel like this was sort of like an Oscar bait movie that didn't have the bite or didn't get the bite, kind of like it was like, oh, I see what they were doing, but it didn't happen. Yeah, I thought that the newspaper journalist stalking out his house was interesting. That scene in the alley I liked. I thought that was a strong scene with him yelling at the photographers and stuff, and them yelling back. And I felt like what they were going for is a very message of public versus private lives of these figures. Like, and that today it means so much less. Like, now a lot of people are like, whatever. It's a scandal. That's what politicians do. Vote for them anyway.
Yeah, I look at this as kind of a D level, All the President's Men.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen that movie, but I know of it.
Good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it, and there's always this stuff about the press and fake news and whatnot these last few years. So that was somewhat interesting. The material I thought could I'm going to use the word interesting a lot, but the way it's told I thought was very by the numbers. It could have just used a little more oomph to it, I suppose. Like it's just like, here's what happened and that's it. I guess the story didn't really have anything to add, but that would be too exciting, but I don't know. And like Dominic said, the pacing I thought was pretty slow. But good performances. Good performances by everybody all around, I thought. Yeah. That's pretty much all I have. Oh, and Caitlin Deaver as the daughter.
Yeah.
From Booksmart.
Oh, and she was on was it Last Man Standing, I think?
Yeah, the non-Home Improvement Tim Allen show.
The other Tim Allen show, yeah.
And unfortunately, I sat through Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh.
Oh,
It's on
man.
HBO Max, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna skip that shit.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
All right, would you have any trivia?
Yeah. The film was made with only technology that was available in the 80s.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Hugh Jackman was invited by the real Gary Hart to stay at his home while the two of them got acquainted. Since Gary Hart's wife was recovering from hip surgery, him and his wife slept downstairs, so Hugh Jackman slept in the Hart master bedroom. Or if that bed could talk. Anyway.
That's pretty.
One of those black light things.
CSI, that shit, huh?
Yeah. Oh.
It said the film leaves out the famous scene of Donna Rice, that's the girl, sitting on Senator Hart's lap.
Yep. That was there were
That's
photos.
the picture that nailed him.
Yeah.
And they left that out of the film.
Why?
The real life Donna Rice, who's now a 60-year-old grandmother, had a private screening, and she thought the actress who played her did a good job. Her and Gary Hart to this day still deny an affair. They've never changed that. Has never happened.
Yeah.
I know his wife just passed away last year. Gary Hart's wife.
Oh, wow.
And they stayed married. In the scene with comedian Bill Burr, yes. He was a bald, I don't know what his character was, so damn many of them. In the scene where Hugh Jackman is yelling at him and he drops his notepad, that was not in the script. He was generally afraid.
Wow. Nice.
It said he was afraid Hugh Jackman was going to get all Wolverine on him. The axe throwing scene is a first take.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
He actually hit the bullseye on his first try, and I used that take. The character that Alfred Molina plays, Ben Bradley, was also played by Tom Hanks in The Post.
Oh, wow.
And by Jason Robards in All the President's Men.
Yep.
So is this okay? So there is some sort of weird connection.
And I know, well, Don, we probably know, he dropped out in May from the race, and then got back in December, but he was hurt so bad by this.
Yeah.
He didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. No.
And he would have, like Dom said, that's why I called the front runner. He was going to win. This was his.
Wow.
And from what I read, that his ignoring it instead of denying it hurt him.
Oh, yeah.
Him going, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about politics. People don't care what I do in my personal time. They want to know what I'm running for. Hurt him in the public eye.
That's not the truth. People vote for the personality too.
Yes, but he didn't believe in that. Which I even said, they said in the movie that nobody really knows about his personal life in the good way. Like nobody knows about his wife or kids. He keeps all that private. So, I mean, I kind of see his point. He puts a vote on whether he's going to be a good leader, not whether he's a good husband. But, you're kind of voting on character too. Do you want that kind of person leading your country? Yeah, from what I read online, that was, looking back on, that was the major thing that hurt him. Was if he just would have gotten in front of cameras and went, nope, never happened. Let's move on. But to just keep denying it and pushing it aside and I don't want to talk about it, hurt him. But he still was working. He worked under Barack Obama. He was.
Wow, I didn't know that.
What do they call? I forget what the word is. But for Ireland, he was like the delegate, or what do they call?
Ambassador.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was still working as of a few years ago. So. Yeah.
All right, let's rate this pig.
All right.
Oh man.
You mean Gary Hart's a pig, or the movie's a pig?
Oh man.
You're a married man, Dom.
The movie just wasn't enjoyable for me. I didn't enjoy it. You know, I could take a crappy movie that I enjoy. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it. This was a well-made movie, well-written movie. I just didn't enjoy it. So I'm going to give it a 4.
All right. I see your point. Like, I like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I know it's a terrible movie, but I liked it.
No, it's like, yeah, I love that movie.
It entertained the shit out of me. Yeah.
Entertaining, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Is it a
didn't
classic? No, but damn, it's funny.
know if it was just I wasn't in the mood for it, or when I found out the subject matter, I was like, oh, you know. So
Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I like the performances, but I agree with you, Wes. It's sort of like by the numbers. Like, they don't really dig deep into anything. It's just all surface level.
Yeah, this is what happens. Here you go.
Yep. Go from this scene to this scene to this scene, connect all the dots, end of movie. There's really nothing. They don't take a point of view either way. It's just like, these are the facts. Here's your movie.
right.
For that. But the performances are good. So yeah, it's probably like a 5 for me.
Okay. Well, we're on the same page because I was gonna say 5.
Yeah. Like, if someone asked me, should I watch it? I'd be like, if you like those kind of movies, you might enjoy it. If you like
Right.
true
If
story political biographies,
If you're interested in that character, or
Yeah.
I don't know that you're gonna learn anything new, but
yeah. If you have to do a paper on it in school, you could watch this, I guess. I don't know. Like,
just read the Wikipedia article.
yeah. But it's not like mandatory viewing. Like, oh, you got to watch it. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Wesley, my mind went blank for a second. What did you give it?
A 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just meh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To quote my favorite movie reviewer, it's meh.
And that's exactly what I would give it. So a special treat for us all next time, because we have yet another Dollar Tree review coming up.
Warning
Which
shot 2.
I mean, you never know. We've only done 2, so this will maybe the third time will be the charm, but I'm kind of thinking not. But I picked this up, and I know you have it, John. And if not, it's on Peacock, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on your thing. At least it's 2 known actors.
That doesn't mean much.
The Killing Season with Robert De Niro and John Travolta.
Oh. I actually got a theatrical release for $1.
Yeah.
Movie. Yes, I do have
That's
that.
the cover I knew, because I looked at it. I'm like, is this the one with Travolta? And then I turned it around. I'm like, yes, it is.
I think that's my cover. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe they tried to pass it off as a different movie.
Maybe those 2 actors like, don't put us on a cover. We're embarrassed.
Yeah, this isn't the best thing on our IMDb. But I figured we had to check this one out. should be funny at least.
Damn, I really want an Island of the Dead again, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what? This is my only problem with this selection.
With what, the Travolta one?
Yes, this is my problem with it. It's going to be terrible, but it'll be terrible. It'll be a chore to watch. I mean, if
It's
we
only
were-
90. Well, you never know. It's
if
only
we
90
were-
minutes.
No, I want to review the shittiest goddamn titles that the Dollar Tree has, because they might be so terrible they're awesome. You know,
Or they're just terrible, like Warning Shot.
Yeah.
or just be terrible, like Warning
It's just
Shot.
awful.
Well, that's the thing. You never know what you're gonna get from the Dollar Tree, so we'll see.
All right, wrap it up, Wesley.
All right, John, you want to talk a little bit about the podcast?
Yeah, We Like Wrestling Podcast. It's a weekly podcast and YouTube show. We sit around and talk about any and everything wrestling related. We're on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find podcasts. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I can't remember what else we're on. We're on so much stuff. Right.
Everything.
Yes. We have a store.
Except OnlyFans.
Right. But we're working on that. Anyway,
Oh God.
we have an online store where you can buy merchandise and wrestling related items to support our podcast. We Like Wrestling Podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/westtroupe-A-list. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter, Instagram, and Letterbox at Wes A-List. Until next time, Troop out.